Okay, so one of the first things we need to do is remove the wheel. 19 millimeter, remove your lug nuts. Remove your wheel. Next we're going to remove the outer tie rod nut. Next we're going to bonk right here on the knuckle with our hammer. You want to be careful not to damage the threads. The next thing we need to do, remove our axle nut. Make sure your axle can slide. So it's time to remove the caliper bracket bolts. They're 21 millimeter and there's 2 of them. 1, 2. There we are. Cool. Hang this. Nice. Let's remove our rotor. Let's spray this area with some penetrant. Nice. So now we have our ABS wire right here. We're just going to try to get it out of there. Cool. Okay, so this red tab right here is a lock. You need to go like this with your small pocket screwdriver and just move that away. And then right where it was, there's a squeeze tab. Separate the two. Grab that ABS wire and remove it from all of its holding points. Nice. One more. There it is. Next it's time to remove the wheel bearing mounting bolts. There's 4 of them, 1, 2, and then the same on the reverse side. There we go. So now we're going to take our big old hammer and we're going to give this a couple loving bonks and hopefully it'll want to fall down. There we are. Next we're just going to loosen up this plate so we can pull the wire through. Use a 10 millimeter, remove these bolts. Nice. Okay, so we need to clean up all the places where the bearing is going to ride. You can see the outline of where it was. Let's clean it up. Inside area. If you have any large areas of corrosion, just chisel it up with a flathead. Let's clean up the area. Okay, so now we're going to spray this down with some copper never sees. You want to get along the inside portion here, and then on the splines of the axle itself, but not necessarily on the threaded area. That looks pretty decent. We'll get those splines. Cool. So we've got our new bearing. It came with a new ABS bracket, so we're just going to remove the old one once we get to that point. As for now, though, just put this up and through here, just like it came out. Make sure you don't put any tugs or crimps on that ABS wire. Slide that in. Beautiful. We're going to start in our 2 backing plate bolts. Knock them up. Tiny bit of thread locker. We'll say this part's your prerogative. Try starting in the bolts. Let's snug them up. Okay, let's torque these down to 37 foot-pounds. Torqued. Let's put this up here. Make sure it's in where it belongs. Nice. Turn the wheel. Okay. So now we need to get this bracket off of here. You can of course reuse this bracket if you want, but we've got a new one, so why not? 10 millimeter, let's remove it. Remove this 10 millimeter bolt. Bring this over. We've got another one here. Slide that into its little holding point. And slide this over here. Try to get our screw through. It needs to go a little further. There it is. Snug it up. Nice. This one in here. This end. This needs to come up and over the top of that brake line, which seems weird, but that's where it goes. Got our connector. We're going to snap those two together. Okay, clicked. Give it a tug. Feels good. Make sure you push in that red lock. If you don't do that, you're going to have big problems. Now you need to make sure you secure the ABS wire back onto its spot. Beautiful. So now it's important to make sure that you clean up the rotor mating surface where the bearing's going to ride. You can see exactly where it touches because it's rusted. So let's spray down this hub. A little bit of copper never sees. Grab our rotor. Slide that over. And grab one of these lug nuts. And just start it on there so the rotor can't move around too much. Nice. Let's get our caliper back up on here. Start those bolts. Let's torque them to 125 foot-pounds. Torqued. Put your outer tie rod end stud through the knuckle. Put your nut on there. We're going to snug it up. Tighten this up. Now we're going to torque this nut to 55 foot-pounds. That's torqued. You want to make sure that the slot's lined up with the hole inside the tie rod end. Make sure you put through a cotter pin to lock it in. Take your new lock and cotter pin. Slide it through. painted over, so there's no way that this nut can come off of here. Take your axle nut. We're going to tighten this just until it bottoms out, and then we'll torque it to manufacturer specifications. Let's torque this to 125 foot-pounds. Torqued. Let's get our wheel up on here. Lug nut on there. Let's torque these to 100 foot-pounds. Torqued.